Alright. Where's the fucking TV again? Turn game up. Yeah, I just found out it didn't show some of the startup logos every other time I've booted the game up, but it just pops up saying this was made with Unity. And I just think that's interesting. Because I've fucked about with Unity. I've either made two, if you're being very generous, games with Unity. I made one game where you're a duck and you run around without any running animation, and that's the whole thing. And I made another game where Sherlock Holmes is a visual novel where Sherlock Holmes turns into a fungus and kills you. That was homework for university. Both of them were homework for university, which the teacher didn't check. Of course, my assignment during the 10th of January is to make a slightly better visual novel. To make in Unity. Something I'm just wondering about is, when you go into Unity, it asks you, of course, we haven't done a lot of it. Well, we should have done, but our teacher isn't particularly good. Fucking 13 grand a year, this course. Don't go to Roy Holloway University. It sucks. It really sucks, especially if you're looking for, like, media arts or anything. Don't go there. It's a fucking... Oh. Oh. We have, like, two and a half months, I guess, experience with Unity. And, when you boot up Unity, it asks for like a 2D game core or 3D game core. And like a 2D game core is what we use to make a visual novel, and 3D game core is what you use to make a 3D game. And so I'm just wondering, is this a 2D game core or is this a 3D game core? Because the graphics are kind of 3D. It's probably 2D, but well-made 2D. Maybe there's another way to do it, but of course I wouldn't know that yet. I watched Ricky's playthrough, the first hour of it, and it was interesting. Yeah, I have seen the stream before. This was in, what's his name's video? Yeah, I watched the first hour of Ricky's playthrough, and somehow, he got his fucking tie to just start talking. I don't think that happens to us. So I don't know how that happened to him. I actually understood a little bit more just by reading his stream chat. Apparently, all that this number means is it's the highest number, is the amount you can upgrade each of these skills to. So apparently these numbers just on their own are useless. And it's only the actual skills which mean anything. So, for the most part, our physique ones can only go up to level 2. I don't know, it doesn't seem consistent. Those might be bonuses that I'm getting from other stuff. I don't fucking know. I mean, it seems weird to, like, increase the max level of stuff rather than actually giving a bonus. Because I don't see any version of events where you significantly level these. Unless later on in the game you get more XP or something, which is possible. But right now, leveling is not particularly fast. And also, I have a slightly better understanding of how the fuck these work now. So give you a deficit whilst you learn them, but once you do learn them, you then get a benefit, but you don't know the benefit until after you internalize them. So these ones which say there's no bonus, they just mean there's no effect whilst you're learning it, but once you do learn it, there is a benefit. But we don't know what that is, and I could Google them, but it's probably better not to. I've been watching the Outer Worlds playthrough by a small YouTuber, and he officially looked up a guide for the first time to navigate with anglerfish. Pretty fucking cringe.
Desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you. With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair.
Up is not jump said this is a boss battle. So,
with a mixture of expectation and impatience, well bottled.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
Dubois. Is that right? What were the initials again? It's H. Well, I feel like it was HDB. Are we Henry Dubois?
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez. I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
Speaking of health, I just ordered a McDonald's. It should arrive within an hour. So when that happens, the stream's probably going to get paused like an hour. So it's freebie Friday, so that means there's a free 6 nugget pack. No, I'm not going to go to uni tomorrow either.
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Obviously, we don't want to give him power in this conversation. It might be good to stand. It'd be bad to immediately start asking him to explain himself. I would like to know that, but that's a bad move. Taking a seat, I mean, this is aggressive, but we can save Scummit.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another. So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world.
Are you fucking serious?
Violating your backside.
Let's not heal.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners. It pains me to say.
Like, there's so many things out there which heal your morale for free, but of course, like, again, like, there's no reason to not heal your morale or seemingly your health the moment it goes down, because the next fucking dialogue might take away the second bit.
This should take care of that nonsense. It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
Wow, that's 25 real. That's good money. You need it.
That's only 2 days. Well, that's not even 2 days on its own. It'll get me to over 40, which is 2 days, but on its own, it's just over 1 day. Tim hasn't sat down, though he did tell us to. We need the money, but do we need it from this trick? I have a pen I can sell and make the money for tonight.
Don't mention it. But also, don't forget it. I'm just kidding, of course.
He's not.
Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
Brilliant, okay.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only 2 words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun. When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
We don't stutter.
Are you all right, Harry? You seem anxious. Don't be. Everything's going to be all right. It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
It was loaded. There were 2 bullets in it. You always keep at least 2 barrels loaded.
You fuckers.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Who does this guy think you are?
Fuck yeah.
Ronnie Whiskey? You ain't worried about
Don't
a
worry.
gun, or unpaid bill, or forgotten name. You're the bad cop. You're probably more corrupt than him.
How's my McDonald's going? Hasn't changed. Jolly good. I also think this game is a good opportunity to like screen if I were to like Baldur's Gate. Because that dice roll mechanic is also in Baldur's Gate. Maybe even more so than it is here. Also know Baldur's Gate is turn-based combat. It's like even fucking longer this way. I know there's nudity in it. I watched there's a sex scene with a succubus, and it was fucking cringe. Every time I see something about Baldur's Gate, I think I would like. I will see something I think I would dislike. So.
The fat man does the same, sinking deeper into his chair than one would think is physically possible. He seems to be enjoying your little display. Good. Now lean in with some corruption.
That we do, Harry. Let them say what they will about you and me. We're both born fighters. Why, thank you. It's always nice when a fellow professional appreciates your work.
That's it. Now kick back and add a final flourish for dignity.
You strike me as a reasonable man, Harry. I like that in a law man. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? What can Everard Clare do for you?
I think we'd like to ask you a few questions. Don't you think so, Detective?
Somehow you managed to get yourself out of this one. Now quick, keep the momentum up. Ask questions. Whatever you do, don't ask him about the gun first. You don't want him thinking you're scared.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any jolly fat guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Harry, honestly, I'm just relieved you didn't get a hernia. A man your age...
The big man peers at you over the rims of his glasses for a moment.
Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it. Of course, let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry. My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done. It's just a brown folder. You can't make out what's written on it.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
It's Harry. Harry Dubois. And I can work with you, Harry. Now, what else can I do for you? But of course, Harry. Your precinct is the 41st and you live in Jamrock.
He doesn't really seem to know any more about it.
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry? That's why I like you, Harry. A good man knows both his strengths and his weaknesses, and you, my friend, you are one of the all-time greats. Well, Harry, if I were to sum you up in one word, it would be apologetic. Yes, you seem to be, a lot of the time, but right now there's no reason to be.
He's probably just making a guess based on your recent activity in Martinez.
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man. So is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you.
Nice, we put him on the back foot.
The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on. Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here. Yes, we're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like you shouldn't work with her just because you and I are such good friends. I'm not a jealous guy.
There's the same kind of like red graffiti we saw that Arsat doing in the top left of the map.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. Harry! I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals. Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and... Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it...
This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction.
Yes. Low balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to discuss it with you. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me, but there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines. Incredibly talented at opening doors.
I'm not sure I understand. If you're asking us to break down someone's door, it's not going to happen.
Come now. I just need you to go open a little door for me and leave it unlocked. A simple thing. Absolutely nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the Archliar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like...
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about. A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can just... Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez. Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level. You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry. Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
Now, I'm hoping, of course, our internal... Who was it? An excellent opportunity. You could win the trust of the Archliar, pretend to play in his hand, and then should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own. If he starts asking us to do any more fucking work, then it's not happening.
Yes, your lost gun. My best Your gun will be found, Harry.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Now, if we pass this on to him, we might fuck ourselves. Of course, I don't know how we find the gun. It's possible we can find it right now, we just haven't. It's also possible we need him to be able to find it. It's also possible that by telling him this, he's going to get it, and then we're going to have to do more shit for him to get it.
Harry! I was only trying to be tactful. Our kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of...
I assure you, we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
I mean, it was tasked to find our gun. Yeah, just complete it. Why? Why complete it? That wasn't complete.
Yes. What's that, Harry? You're getting a little pale. Is it the words paranoid schizophrenic and lost gun in one sentence? Don't worry, it's just a lead. It'll probably turn out to be nothing.
Some kids are paranoid schizophrenic. So the Kunos kids are the Kunos, the girl on the top left. Paranoid schizophrenic could be that woman by the lorries we found last night.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate. Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man.
I hope Kim is aware we're not about to be corrupt cops with working with the situation we got. If he asks us to do some shit, we ain't doing it. But I need to talk to this guy as well, don't I?
The lyric, the accent.
Container, ever. I see you are not a union man, mister. I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just some of the other guys don't look too... Oh yes, people say us Ubies are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes I am, yes I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them. Sure, mister. About what? Oh, most of the guys were on a strike.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, but Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and... Oh, I'm not really supposed... Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got... No, I don't think they killed anyone.
He probably doesn't know anything anyway. Who in there?
Yes, I'm like Miss... Actually...
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like... But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here, and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tooth.
He respects that word.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood. Knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure.
His visits of fake gardener.
If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. But she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer?
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. Of course, mister. I'm more... Oh, yes. Boy, it's very...
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little...
Yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting... Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant. And now he's just nodding along.
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as... Bye-bye.
Okay.
Oh, hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. No trouble at all, mister.
Okay, which one was
I'm
it?
just making some
Yeah,
covers for
okay.
them
Yeah, safe
containers
commit.
here.
Everything is so pretty.
Yep. I have no shame on saves coming with stuff.
Oh, hey, mister. Sure, mister.
I always
Absolutely.
appreciate it, like,
I'm always
just
willing to
leave
help
the
out
option
nice
there.
fellows such as yourself.
If a player doesn't want to do it, then they don't do it. If a player does want to do it, like I do, then they can just go ahead. Like, I'm not going to say some of the ones with like 3% chance, but ones like that where I'm most likely to succeed and I fail, why wouldn't I?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here.
Everything is...
If it isn't anything like game breaking, which so far it isn't, it's fine.
Oh, hey, mister. I'm sure, mister. Absolute. Oh, I'm just making some covers for them.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo. It's like some red infection was spreading outward. There appear to be cisterns underneath the Union container covers.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debardos Union logo on them.
No, not really. Miss Airrat doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone. Oh, I don't know, mister. They say it's some chemicals. Most of them have labels on them.
Oh.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
There's chemicals in containers, What do you think about this, Kim? I wish there was more dialogue with Kim. But it really should be. Right now I feel quite directionless. I really have no clue what to do next. I really feel like you should be able to talk to Kim. And like, at the end of the first day, with the debriefing thing, Kim gave you a little checklist of things to do. One of them was talk to Everard, but I don't remember the other ones. You really should be able to talk to Kim, and Kim will say, we should do this thing. Now we have more reason to suspect there's something in the containers. Can we do this now? I don't remember what I did with it last night. Didn't Kim say it was like a waste of time? But now we know it isn't.
A rust marsh. The crane stands tall with a loud grind. The crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Also, like, the whole drug ring thing's gone completely stagnant. I don't know what more can be done with it. I think we talked to the woman. She said that there's some we haven't talked to yet, but we've talked to everyone. I ran several paces around that place, and we talked to a fellow. He says, there's a guy below me. He's south. We go south, and we talk to the fellow.
The harbor sleeps as the moving.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action.
Before you stands.
You do? There are 1 million containers here. Why are you fixed? There may very well be. We are not here to interact with...
You attempt to your left. The lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement. No reply. The knot produces a hollow ring of metal. Doesn't sound like there's anything inside the container. Why are you even trying to open it?
Because what wasn't an option? Now is not the time to get philosophical, detective. You can...
So what happens if you do succeed that, then? That's a 3% chance, even with the rhetoric 4 there, and plus 2 additional chance points. Of course, I previously thought those points were like points you would gain by succeeding. No, it's additional points you have to increase your chances of success. So I'm a fucking idiot. Are you still not going to let us past?
Your race descent has only worsened
Fuck.
since the last saw you.
You have really let yourself go.
Do we need to get past him? Still? Because he is still blocking off an area.
So, how'd you like our harbor?
Yeah, you're the guy next
You've
to
been in there, he means. Talked to the boss man too, probably.
It's but a rest area on the path leading across open plains. Right, you talk to the boss, eye to eye, like men of the plain. A key, huh? What door is this key supposed to open? Oh, say no more. I got that key right here. And let me tell you, it's mighty good of you to help us out during the strike. Working class solidarity, as they say. Oh, so the none of the above type, are you? I get it. What you're looking for is a basement door behind the greenhouse. That's behind the whirling and rides. That's all I know.
Okay, but where did you get the key from?
The janitor gave it to me. Nice fella. We talked about life and things that really, truly matter. None of this mess we're in, this jiving and juggling. What's it for? I'm more of a philosophical dock worker. I like to talk about...
He means he's not going to tell you, cause he doesn't know. But he will shoot his mouth off with you now that you're working for Everard.
Los Ardis? They're an independent militant group. They're sort of like you. Preserve the rule of law and all that. Except it's Everard's law. We're negotiating our share. Aye. All of it. However, right now we want all the harbor workers to be on the company's board, so they could take part in the decision-making process.
This seditious talk sounds like communism. Just so we're on the same page, communism is basically wanting to kill the rich people, or deporting them to a labor camp in southeast Grad. But don't say that out loud if you're a communist.
I think it's best you make up your own mind now that you've met him. In my eyes, he is a capable organizer, and I guess you kind of get to be the villain.
By that, you mean corruption?
By heavens, why would he not be corrupt? We live in a harsh and disordered world. See, the old man is corrupt for our benefit, and we know it. Appreciate it even. He is, personally, he is reasonably lavish, sure. That's his prerogative. It's not like you want a saintly demeanor on a corrupt motherfucker. That would be a manipulative illusion. Besides, there are no non-corrupt systems in the world anyway. And moralism is the most corrupt of them all.
This man has political theory, and it has not failed him today.
Yeah.
No. I don't think I'm a communist. Seeing something of even a weak child can think it. The only things holding someone back are I can't and I shouldn't. And none of the above kind of man. No harm in being that. Sure, I've had the necessary freedom.
The look in his brown eyes conjures up an understanding. It all comes together now. The way he speaks about scabs is just that of a noble peasant or a traveling herdsman. True to yourself, the man sits on the railing, his hands...
The mercenary, eh? Who could have killed him? That's indeed the question. Why even do such a thing? What a thought! Why would noble workers resort to... Your dead guy was an enemy combatant. He was an agent of the opposition, attempting to undermine our honorable efforts. I ain't the murdering type, but that's just me. Large organizations like our union have all sorts of men, with all sorts of skills.
He's not lying about not doing it himself.
Understood. This has been of limited use. Still, thank you.
No problem. I wish the best to you in your search.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate, political opinions somewhere in Martinez. It's also about that, but it's also more. It's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Conscience. It is not a place, It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances, incrementally. Yawn, you'd get that. Speaking of, history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. Too quickly. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real tisk tisk. Just because you live in the present doesn't mean you have the right. You may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children, what rationality? What sang-froid? What a fucking joke. Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to come partly because humanity will need to discard. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even post-sexual.
What is this? I am not quite sure what he's talking about. Is this like resurrecting communism again, but resurrecting something else? The kingdom of conscience. What does it mean if I opt in? What does it mean if I opt out? Is this just an extra thought? I'm fine to collect extra thoughts because we don't have to use them. Is this gonna make me racist? Something about gradual social change?
Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the pub? That's right. Remember, real democracy.
Okay, interesting. Alright, so I wanna look around here to see if there's someone I'm somehow missing. Are you the schizophrenic who they just alluded to?
The woman is still hunched over the railing.
Huh? What is it? What do you want? Diamonds? Of course not. Whatever stupid things they put in the lorry, I imagine. I quit concerning myself with that a long time ago. Besides...
She says that as if something narcotic is the real reason.
Then it's contraband, Loman. What? Do you want to take an old...
Bad hand. Hermenegildos' bad hand. Strangled 300 people.
Of course not. To truly understand the Boyadero...
A boyadero, Boya for short, is a cow herder from upstream Magritte.
It's an old ballad about a young girl who falls in love with... Of course not.
In the background, you can hear the orchestra swell as the...
So the Boyadero strangles his beloved and throws her body in the Magritte. Then he rides off, because the Western Plain is cold. You have to understand. A true Boyadero needs a whole horizon to himself. What do I need drugs for, Lowman? What I see, what I feel, the great adversary, no drugs can compare. Yes, there is a protagonista.
Those epithets are familiar somehow.
Then what do...
Maybe if she thought you're corrupt.
Who the fuck is Irrat? Ah, and what do I care about the union boss? He's no garbage. Maybe. Probably not. Makes no difference to me either way. Just this month I made half a dozen trips from Saramiriza to Rat. The U-41A. What do you think they take from us? No, Lawman. Diamonds. Easy. He's the skinny man who thinks he's a poet. Never trust a poet. Also, he's the only one I can see from here.
Okay, so both of them are saying it's that guy.
That's correct. There is no visibility of any of the others.
Diamonds are good for you, Lawman. You should try them sometime. Where do you want me to go? Or I can just relax.
I think we're done here, no?
Well, with this guy, we have a thing with him, but we can't bloody do it.
Make way for the master poet.
Empathy.
Ah, man. What? Those days... Hey, man, that's serious.
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law...
We have a credible lead.
Not me, man. No. Look, man.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Okay. Reload on that. Okay. We need to increase our empathy. We want to level up and then increase our empathy. I think. Yeah, right now, what the fuck do we do? I wanted to talk to this guy, but he's not here anymore. Do we have anything to do in the car?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out.
No.
Coon, okay? The fuck do you want with it? Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk. Kuno.
Also, we can see a woman up there. But how on earth do we get up there?
An old call box with a matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center. No, hold on. The last thing you need in your life is more hysteric emotions. Forget it. Find some...
Hi, Ace Detective. Are you here for more books?
My husband? No, he's not. Excuse me? Do policemen just go around repeating what some kid off the street said? Can I give you some friendly advice, Mr. Policeman? Don't listen. No, I don't. I have a good husband. The kind and helpful sort. I don't know.
Where is this going, officer?
She gives you a short nod and shifts her attention back to books. The woman before...
Kim's going to be annoying to continue crying. I need something to fucking do. I wanna go to that door.
Trying to
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails. You knock silently. The upholstery.
I guess no one is in. Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it. On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrart we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this. The leather upholstery is worn and roughed. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard.
Okay.
The door to the weasel
Jump
is
up, Cutter.
dead.
Come on.
Guard, you try to be as silent as you can. Finally, the door unlocks with a small clack. As you hold the open door, you... A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure, a little ring. There's something disdainful in the way it looks like the artist is celebrating diversity. But underneath, he's just making fun of these. No one's telling you to like him. You might learn. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Oh, jolly good then.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash.
Which means they could be the killer. Involved.
And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
You could ask Evrart who this person is once you're done here.
Oh, Cody, why'd you fucking fart? Oh. Oh, it's awful. Oh no. That's really inconsiderate, Cody.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big... It's an optical, atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag.
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. A sturdy metal door guards.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? You have? And how did you like Mr. Clare? Of course, Detective. Excuse me for implying otherwise.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it doesn't come off any other way.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything he told you with me. I'm not a corrupt verm myself. How could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear...
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what you tell her. She'll like you for it.
I've seen a meme about this. I've seen a meme about this. I didn't realize I was talking to her, but yeah, I saw a meme briefly on YouTube where they mentioned that someone else was helping you find your gun, and everyone's like, "What? We just saved." So let's do it.
That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise.
And conventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Yes. As you said.
Please, don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever. Ask him to say something else, please.
That's wrong. You don't get into loops. Totally slanderous. Maybe you've gotten into one tiny loop once.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you were here to assist.
The lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
Oh.
The lieutenant looks at you. He's a...
Unconventional, but...
Incredible. Simply did he now? Well...
Perhaps he is.
Oh.
The lieutenant, he's a...
Unconventional.
Incredible. Yeah.
Please, don't get...
That's totally...
Of course.
The lieutenant will be more
Of course. Until then, is there anything I can...
Okay, not worth it.
Wow. So someone's been a little bored. Yes, my standard lead.
Okay.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? You have. And how did you like Miss... Of course, Detective.
The RCM...
Of course. How could I...
Intellectual. Tell her. She'll like you for it.
Of course, Detective. Should something come... Until then, is there anything I can help you with?
Wow. So someone's been a little boring. Yes, my standard liege. Someone's seen all sorts of wild ideas pop off and thought, I'll take the boring one. The regular, please. The brown.
You? I wouldn't worry about that.
See? You're so regular and vinyl brown, he doesn't even want to talk to you about it. No need to be defensive. Of course you do. Let's get right to it. My lord's copper type is regular cop. I'll let everyone know. I'll send out a telefax. Done and done. No actual communicate.
I heard there's fast travel as a special addition to this version of the game. But I can't find it. So please go run all the way back. Oh wait.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. See you soon, Dubois. Mr. Dubois, I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady, you know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying.
Just as I thought. Culturally antiquated mug collection. What a weasel. Pissing on Everart's Rainbow Coalition.
He was testing you, and you succeeded.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good.
Apparently the driver's been at a restaurant waiting to pick up my food for fucking 20 minutes. And Just Eat isn't updated.
Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of me. I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization. I'm relieved you're doing this and leaving me to do what I do best. Helping people.
Yes, yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow connected to the murder?
Oh, no, 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 no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you...
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being connected to a high-caliber case like this. But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course, Harry. Stoic silence. I like that. Very befitting a police officer. I'm not a real detective. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Sent to scare us. Another violent measure of the top hats against us flatcaps. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending in armed mercenaries.
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send hired killers to mow us down with machine gun fire?
He performs a motion as if spraying bullets from a machine gun.
I'm talking beasts, hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, killing, burning villages, killing little children for the Senorita Pineapple Company, Harry.
Where the fuck is my McDonald's? Jump up, Cutter, come on.
Everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. About my fun container? It's a hoot, Harry. Who knows? Maybe you'll be in here the next time they move it. It will be very fun, I promise. But enough about me and my container. The killers the company hired, I think there were 3 of them. All hardened commando types. One of them got downright suicidal. Getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy. The one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. And when we do, we push to kill. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring into action for their home base. There's a militant wing inside the Union, a group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but peacekeeping in the neighborhood, making sure everything runs smoothly.
That sounds a bit like organized crime.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have, well, punishment must follow.
Again, that sounds like organized crime.
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves to kill this beast that was burdening the land." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martinez boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes...
He places a lot of faith in that lawyer girl. Perhaps this is a tactical error? anyway.
So they shot him.
My dinner arrived. Come on, Coda, jump out. On Just Eat, my local McDonald's is rated 2.5 stars. And local KFC is rated 4 stars. That's some bullshit. Right? So the debate between McDonald's versus KFC is eternal. Like KFC's chicken strips are really good, but they are excessively overpriced. They are extremely fucking pricey. The current price for like one of them is what used to be the price for a McNugget share box. And KFC, ever since their chicken problem, they now have an issue where sometimes their chicken stuff is just gammy, it's just wrong, and it tastes disgusting. So whenever you order from KFC, there's a 50-50 chance that your entire order is going to taste like shit. And again, it's just really bad value for money. Now, McDonald's have also raised their prices. Maybe that's why they're getting review bombed. Because McDonald's, within the span of like a year, they raised the chicken McNugget share box price from £5 to almost £7. It's a pretty hefty price raise, more than like about 30%. During the cost of living crisis is not great, McDonald's. But KFC did the same thing, worse, in fact, I think. But I just don't get it. And also, I do not agree with the sentiment that McDonald's is bad. I'll be honest, I've gotten to try out a lot of local places, and McDonald's is not bad compared to the rest of them by any means. The rest of them are definitely good to have, but McDonald's is like a really safe bet. It's always going to be good. Other places can be great, but they're going to be pricier. They're going to take longer to get here. There's a chance we can fuck them up. McDonald's always gets your order right, and it's always good quality. But I don't know if I want to pause the stream. So let's finish this conversation.
He was shot in the head before he was hanged.
How odd. I don't know what to say, Lieutenant. They told me they hanged him. A hanged man is what I saw when I took a look into that yard.
It's impossible to say if he's telling the truth, sire.
What I do know is, the case is in safe hands. If anyone can get to the bottom of this shot and hanged man, it's my two little policemen. Godspeed, policeman.
Yeah, you don't own us. You don't own us.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what they do. Last winter, some poor workers in Terminal E went on a little strike. The company sent in Sediment, a security contractor. The strike was over the workers' right to wear protective footwear, Harry. These guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after a little rebranding. And I'm sure as hell not surprised to see an army of scabs under my gates.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security contractor?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down that proverbial elephant. Boys like that don't just happen to show up during strikes. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. I'm in this position because people like me. Oh, they are simply fine young men, all 7 of them. Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
We need to inspect Everart's shoe. Because we're still missing one. I was just thinking, I mean, his shoes are concealed right now. Under that massive fucking desk. And he just said himself that he went to go see it.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. Whatever happened, I'm sure they only had the best interests of Martinez and Revachol in mind. Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are just like you. Men who like beer, women, and some order on the streets. Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a firebrand socialist. Sometimes she scares me with her zeal. But of course, it's the least I can do for my good friend Harry. I'll do it right after we've concluded this talk.
It is pretty hard to go to university and not become a socialist by the end of it. It is pretty hard, because you're exposed to the worst of capitalism. You really are. Just immediately throwing yourself into a hellhole. You're putting yourself in debt. You're not getting what you're paying for. You likely still have to juggle a job, so you're basically juggling 2 jobs, because uni is its own job. You have shitty fucking housing, and I don't, but many other people have shitty housemates they can't stand being around. You have stupid fucking deadlines and enforced by stupid fucking people that are not qualified to be where they are. You have a posh exterior concealing a fucking wasted interior. You have political preaching, which is simultaneously not genuine, but also really underdeveloped. And it's all for nothing, because no one gives a fuck about it once you actually get your degree, because degrees are becoming increasingly less valuable. They're becoming more expensive and less valuable. Don't go to uni. Waste of time. Unless you're literally exactly the same as me, don't go. It's a waste of time.
Go and tell Titus about this. See what he has to say.
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real.
The lieutenant watches you pocket the banknote. He looks a little puzzled.
Good boy. A real team player. Now, do you have any more questions?
Kim, I need money.
Was it a good tour? I'm not sure we made much headway here. I was hoping we'd bust the
If
case
possible,
right
if
open.
this guy is
I even wanted
involved...
to tell you what I really want to achieve with the strike.
Hell, based on what he just told us, if we do indeed discover that the guys are guilty, can we not put you in jail for protecting them? He just said himself, I told him to not talk to anyone, and I got a lawyer girl in for him. You're concealing the crime, surely. You didn't report it to the police. Surely in this world there's some law against it, right?
What happened, Harry?
I mean, I'll take his money and then prosecute him.
And of course, I also want you to find your gun. But it's like I can't completely trust you. Yet.
That's the thing. If someone ever tried to bribe me, I most likely wouldn't take a bribe. But if I did take a bribe, I would still just fuck him over anyway. Like, if I was a policeman and I was offered a bribe, I'd be like, alright, thank you, and then don't do what they want me to do.
Yes, Harry. It's like I can't fully trust you if you're not a man of the left.
A man of the left? So you have
You want me to become a socialist?
He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your lost gun, Harry? Does it tell you to forget about it? Or do you think...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking... Well...
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old houses around it. Most people have already signed. I just need... On the coast, Harry, across the canal. There's a cul-de-sac there, a little...
Water drips from the eaves. A woman looks at her freshly tarred skiff. There's a pair of
They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the...
Am I? Harry, these people... Martinez is the most... We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up, and kids have a place to play in. I'm looking out for these people, not pulling the rug from under them, Harry. You bring joy to my heart, Harry. You need to get signatures from Isabel Sadie and Lillian Carter. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 130... Most certainly, Harry. Nothing brightens... By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
I don't have a problem with doing things for him if it's not something bad. If it's something bad, yeah, no. Also, I'm reserving the skill point because I want to put the skill point into whatever we need for the fella man. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to end stream. And then come back once I'm ready. It's McDonald's freebie Friday, right? So I got a little bit extra than normal. But I'm intending to not get takeaways anymore because it's too much money. before I leave her,
Make
you,
way for
right?
the master poet.
Empathy. Make a separate save because we just made a decision. Empathy.
Make way for the master poet.
Still 17?
In his eyes,
Okay, we
an
succeeded. Okay, so
unfamiliar
let's go through this and then
flecks of
I'll
brown
end stream.
gold. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest. The road continues for miles, flowing together with other roads, turning into causeways above the Jamrock Quarter, in the form of a raised to the old south. You cannot see. It's
Excuse me?
a flinch jobs is free. The question has touched him.
Man, I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife. What's it like?
No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow, and the past.
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad, but thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it.
Okay, well, that seems like it was completely useless.
Make way for
Can we
the
tell him
master
we lost our
poet.
gun?
Ah, man. But those days are behind.
We have
Not me.
Ah,
A rhymesmith.
Look, man.
okay. Are we back?